Brandon Brogan. I was born here. I've been here all my life. I have 2 degrees from the University of Tennessee. So we do wealth management and retirement planning. So what does that really mean? Anything in your life that could impact your finances, whether it's investing money, whether it's how to structure income, if we can optimize our taxes, so we serve people. And that's part of our mission statement. We serve people.
Whoa, where'd my camera go? I'm laughing over here at Brandon. Brandon's comment here just a second ago. Well, this is going to be interesting. I may have lost my camera. Well, that's just fascinating. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Oh, geez. All right. Well, let's take you outside, show you a live view there. See if I don't know if you can hear me or not. So let me know if you can hear me. But anyways, live view from downtown Anderson County. That's downtown Clinton, I should say, in Anderson County. Cool shot of the planets there off in the distance. A nice sunrise taking shape here this morning. You can hear me. You just won't be able to see me, I guess. I'll try to reset my camera here in just a second. Maybe that's just needs to be reset. The gremlins are back, Brandon. Anyways, Brandon was saying he had to keep pushing the snooze button to refresh, because I was running a little bit behind. So we're going to try to get this camera reset here, my friends. So while we do that, you get to look at a nice view this morning. All right, let's see if this gets reset here. If it does not reset, then I don't know what to tell you. But at least you can hear me. All right, so let's see how this plays out. Oh, hey, I'm back. There we go. It's working again. Yay! Hey, by the way, right above me, not only are you looking at a beautiful, beautiful shot of from Clinton anyways, but above that, you can see the radar. And we've had some showers showing up just outside of, or in McMinn County, I should say, Monroe County, Tellico Plains, Coker Creek area, Indian Boundary. We've seen some pretty good showers there. All right, yesterday we did top out at 87 degrees, so a little bit warmer than forecasted. I think I was forecasting 85. I was forecasting 85. Yeah, I was. But I was trending upwards because the day before I was going to 82. Then yesterday I went 85, and we actually topped out at 87. 85 in Crossville, 88 Chattanooga, and didn't get any reporting from the Tri-Cities area. I know, these darn gremlins, I tell you. If it's not one thing, it's another. Story of my life, Katrina. Story of my life. But that's okay. You're here with me. So we just go through these growing pains together, and I think it's just always going to be with us. There's always going to be some sort of growing pains, right? All right, so, and I'm kind of off camera here. Let's get back on camera. All right, so mid-level energy and spin. Not much change in the forecast for the day today. You got booted off the live. Anyways, not much change in the forecast. Now, we don't have a lot of energy in the atmosphere. We're starting to get a little bit more instability, and that's going to lead to some afternoon showers and thunderstorms, but not expecting a lot. We don't have any major organization, and we have some light wind in the atmosphere as well. So any of the showers and thunderstorms that do fire up throughout the day will be slow movers. Now, once again, we did have a couple of showers over in the parts of Cumberland County, Loudoun County, Monroe, even the parts of McMinn County. And those are kind of fading away here this morning. So some of you are going to wake up to some wet roads if you're joining us from those areas. And we also have some patchy, dense fog, mainly across the Cumberland Plateau and the foothills and the Smoky Mountains. All right. Temperature-wise, it's not bad. It feels pretty good. Much more comfortable weather from basically Morristown towards Tri-Cities and up along the Tennessee-Kentucky border. We have temps in the mid-60s because that's where our dew points are a little bit lower there as well. Where our dew points are a little bit higher, we've got a little bit more humidity, a little bit warmer weather, and it feels a little bit warmer in some locations, but cooler in other locations. So generally speaking, about where we were yesterday. All right, here's your futurecast from now through lunchtime. We're going to see a few clouds hanging out with us, so we will be probably mostly sunny to becoming partly cloudy. And then as we get into the afternoon, here comes that little flow around this little trough anyways, and that's going to help to pop off a few afternoon showers and thunderstorms. And remember to always track those with the interactive radar and the East Tennessee Weather app. Burn! What's up, Brandon? All right, so here we go. Rainfall amounts throughout the day today. Heaviest rain is going to be across the Cumberland Plateau. Best locations of probably higher terrain. Most of these showers are going to be terrain-driven. And we talk about that a lot across here in East Tennessee because we have such different elevation from the plateau to the mountains and into the valley. Our ridge of high pressure over the Atlantic is going to be retrograding, moving its way from east to west. That's going to be building in through the middle part of next week. As it continues to build in, that's going to bring us a little bit more heat. So when you look at your 7-day forecast, you'll see these temperatures go, I mean, not a ton of heat, but a little bit more. So mid to upper 80s to even low 90s is really the general rule of thumb through the weekend and into next week. We're looking at lows to be in the upper 60s to low 70s, so that's going to be a little bit warmer. Welcome to the month of August, and that's going to lead to some heat index values in the mid to upper 90s. So nothing too drastic, nothing too crazy. It was nice to have the cooler weather here recently because we know it's only going to get hotter from here on out. All right, rain chances. So we do have about a 20 to 30% across the 7-day stretch, going 30 today, 20 Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then bumping up to 30% Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But here's the deal. I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week, we'll have to watch for the potential of a cold front that could maybe swing all the way through. And if it does, it will give us better, more widespread rain and maybe even some drier air and some cooler air. And so hopefully a little bit better. But generally speaking, over the next 7 days, the best locations for seeing rain will be across the plateau and the mountains, lesser amounts across the valley locations. And that's the theme anyways. Let's talk tropics for just a second. Not all these maps are updated. So this one is from the National Hurricane Center. Remember, we still have Tropical Storm Dexter, which is the fourth named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season anyways. Aaron would be next, and when you look at the latest data from the National Hurricane Center, they've taken that little area out. Like I said, these maps are not updated. Bumped that up to a 30% to our north. But the one to our west, this little guy right here, I'm just moving the camera. We're just doing this live. We're doing it live. That little wave right there has a 60% chance now of becoming our next named storm. And so with that, that's likely to become Aaron, I would imagine, before the 30% anyways, that the darker shaded orange area. But looking at some model data, there are a lot of waves that are going to be coming off of the coast of Africa, swinging right down through the Caribbean into the Lesser and Greater Antilles. And there is some, I think it's going to start to get rather active around the area. I think that's going to be the story. So we'll be watching that, of course, right here on East Tennessee Weather. I know we're landlocked, but we still need to watch it closely because we don't want any of those storms to come firing up and moving into our area. You know what I mean? We don't need another Helene. We get tropical storms every once in a while. We get the remnants swinging on through every once in a while. And so that's what we need to watch. Plus, we've got a lot of folks that do have homes and vacation places down into, let's see. I don't know what just happened. See my camera now? That my camera reset? So I look a little darker, don't I? Anyways, see if we can brighten it up. Whoa, let's not do that. That was a little bright. That was a little excessive. That looks probably a little bit better, doesn't it? Jeez, I'm telling you. All right, Katrina says, let's dance. I say, okay. We need a little dancing in our lives, don't we? I think we do. All right, let's get those national holidays up. Before we do so, we'll take you to downtown Gatlinburg. All right, that's live view in downtown Gatlinburg here at this hour. I do have some photos to share with you here this morning of Witcher's pictures, so make sure you stay tuned for that if you want to stick around. But right now, we dive into those national holidays. So today is August 7th. Obviously. So we're celebrating birthdays and events. Any birthdays and events out there, let us know. And good morning, Rose. How are you this morning? Got some coffee. I got my coffee in hand too as well. Oh, Julie's still down, man. I'm telling you. Julie, I'm so sorry that you're feeling crummy. Lisa says, Ronnie Kidwell told me yesterday to tell you, hello, I love that band. Will you please tell Ronnie I said hi and to tell him to shoot me a text? I think he probably still has my phone number. We were talking about the weather, and I was telling him about your East Tennessee, and he said he knows you. Small world. Yeah, Ronnie used to do a bunch of work at the TV stations, a bunch of the network work at the TV station. So if you see him, Lisa, tell him I said hi. And I don't know how you guys know each other, but he is like, I love that dude. All right, so we're celebrating birthdays and events. Let me know. It is National IPA Day. Any IPA drinkers out there? I know we don't have a lot of drinkers on this platform here, but, or at least some of you say you don't, and some do, but maybe an IPA is not your thing. I will say that I would celebrate this day. I used to homebrew beers and stopped doing that when I started East Tennessee Weather. Just don't have time for it. But my forte was stouts and IPAs, and I loved brewing IPAs. A little bit more about me that you will know over the years. If you stick around every single day, I kind of give you a little bit more of who I am. But I am an IPA drinker, so there we go. All right, it's National Purple Heart Day, so that we'll give a big shout out to that for sure. Absolutely. It's National Raspberries and Cream Day. I mean, you can't go wrong with raspberries and cream. And it's National Sea Serpent Day. Okay, well, let's just keep going, right? Sorry about that. National Sea Serpent Day. No, let's not. Let's take that one down. Yeah, I don't want to see a sea serpent. And it's National Lighthouse Day. I'll give a shout out to that. I love lighthouses. I think lighthouses are so cool. They offer a great. It's a great thing. Obviously, they have to have them for boats and whatnot. Obviously, with technology and GPS and whatnot, lighthouses I think have kind of lost what they used to be, but they're still out there. And they're so cool. I think they're so cool because they're always like tucked away high on an island. Somebody lives up there. Like, could you imagine living in a lighthouse? Man, that'd be cool. I think that would be cool. Will it rain in Newmarket today? Maybe. Maybe not. Hard to tell. Your grandpa received a Purple Heart in World War II. Big shout out to your grandpa. That is awesome. Awesome stuff right there. Lighthouses are awesome. Glad you agree with me on that one. Your granddaughter, Cora, is 6 years old today. Happy birthday, Cora. Hopefully I said that right. Ben says, stouts, yes. IPAs, not my thing. Well, I'll cheers a stout with you any day of the week, Ben. You work with the same company. I don't see him every day. Well, when you see him next, please tell Ronnie I said hi. The other thing that we have to do, by the way, is give a big shout out to all the kids going back to school, something to keep in mind. Again, watch out for those school zones. Don't speed. Keep your school. Now traffic's going to get a lot busier. So maybe we'll start putting some traffic in our show once again. Don't really do it much. Don't really like to talk about traffic because traffic really doesn't get busy here around town until about 7:45. So for me to do traffic at 6 o'clock in the morning probably is a moot point, really, to be honest with you. I did traffic for the TV stations, and I never really understood it until it got busy, which is typically between 7:30 and about 7:45. Love lighthouses. Good morning, Betty. How are you this morning? All right, so I want to share a couple photos with you. I got some great photos through Witcher's Pictures, so we'll keep moving right along. By the way, it is now 6:17. So, all right, here's a good one. I'm just going to tell you right now, I need you to move over. Oh, geez, Witcher, come on. There we go. Let's see who this is from. This is from Julie Ward. Hey, did you get out of the house? Good morning from Whitesburg, she says. Good morning from Whitesburg. Deborah Munson, Granger County. Beautiful shot of some storms off the distance that were developing yesterday. I do have a funny story to tell you about those storms that were developing yesterday as well. So, Deborah, thanks so much for sharing that with us. But we were in downtown. I don't know if we actually took a picture yesterday. Sometimes we just try to stay away from. I was going to do a bunch of social media and stuff, and I was like, not really feeling it today. But we did take a trip downtown. Had some friends in town. That's from Behind the Lens. So that is going to be Elaine Ombre. Elaine Ombre is amazing. She posted this yesterday at 9:03 p.m. Beautiful shot there. Elaine, make sure you put in where that photo is from. Here's another great photo from Elaine. It's there we go. That one's not turned sideways, but we'll shrink it so you can see a better view of that. So let's see. She has two shots right there. How about that? One of the sun setting and one of the moon rising. And she says on this one, moonshine over Maryville. There we go. And Deborah McNabb. sharing a cool shot of some fair weather clouds. Those are some nice fair weather clouds around the area. That's all she gave us is just sky. So some fair weather clouds yesterday. So it was nice to see the skies clear on out, wasn't it? All right, so let's see if I have a... Well, I don't. I have a photo. I have a couple photos to share with you. Okay, so let me explain this real quick. All right, so yesterday we took our friends downtown. And aren't those great photos, Denise? So we took our friends. We had some friends trying to possibly move from Colorado to Knoxville, okay? And let me just do this here. We'll just do this because I'm trying to tell a story. You probably want to see. All right, so this is a photo from yesterday. I'll put that right there. And then I'm going to take another photo, and this is funny. All right, another photo right here. So you can see the blue skies, right? And then you can see the dark clouds on the top right-hand side of the screen, top left-hand side, excuse me. This is us. So we're in downtown Knoxville yesterday. And let me see if I have a different, oops, don't want to do that. Might have a different view for you. Anyways, we took our friends to downtown Knoxville. And here's another, I'll cover my face up. There's another radar. That's from Radar Scope anyways. I was checking my radar versus Radar Scope to see what it looked like. Gave me the same depiction. But we were looking at the showers and thunderstorms that were just off to our north. And I was like, okay, guys, we were taking our friends downtown. They were trying to move to town. Let me get the story out here, Witcher. They were trying to move to town. And so we were like, okay, we're going to show you downtown. Let's go to dinner. We walked around downtown, went into all the little shops. And of course, kind of dead when it's a weekday anyways. But I was like, I looked at the radar and I said, hey, guys. And so our backs were on the right-hand side of the screen anyways. But our backs were there. And so we were in the stores. I looked at radar and I said, knew the storms were coming up. I go, oh, we better cross the street and get to another store so we can spend some time in there rather than being stuck in this store that we've already been in for the last 30 minutes because there's some storms coming. And you can clearly see there was a lot of rain moving its way on in. And so right about that time, about 4:20 in the afternoon, I said, okay, guys, we're getting ready to get mobbed by some rain. We walked outside, looked north, and you could see that, I was like, well, geez. And then we walked across the street and you can see the dark clouds. Well, the funny thing is that literally, and I can't really show you a video, I don't think. Maybe I can. See if this works here for you. Well, you don't really care. But anyways, literally, the storm split. And we did not get but hardly a drop in downtown Knoxville where we were on Gay Street. But everybody else was getting soaked. So that was funny. It was funny. I was like, well, sometimes you just can't win. I tried to protect us. I tried to keep us. Anyway, so we're going to see. Then we went to Tupelo Honey last night and got to enjoy some nice dinner with some friends. And then they're going to be heading about their way over the next couple of days. But we're hoping that they'll decide to move to East Tennessee because it would be fun to have some friends. My wife grew up with these people and went to high school. And they're high school sweethearts, by the way. And they got 2 kids about our kids' age, so it would be nice. They're actually looking more closer maybe to Lanier, Greenback, Maryville. So I was like, you move that far out, and we probably won't see you very often. Colorado rep in East Tennessee. That's right, buddy. That is right. Anyways, that was my story. I'm sticking to it. You hit some of the I-75 South sporadic storms yesterday. Good morning, Ronnie. How are you this morning? Happy 6th birthday to Cora. They're not coming through. Let me check those again, Kimberly. They're not coming through. Anyways, just a couple of spotty showers and maybe a few thunderstorms throughout the day today. That's really the general rule of thumb for the next few days. And then we're going to see some warmer temperatures as a ridge of high pressure starts to build its way back in. But I sure hope you have a great day. We're going to leave you with a beautiful... I'm just going to go back out to Anderson County this morning because it's a gorgeous view, gorgeous sunrise taking shape from downtown Clinton. Have a great day, my friends. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short. See you back here tomorrow.